Joins us from New York, Mr. Dr. David Cunic. He's the CEO of a company called UCS Advisors. David, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me back again, Don. Appreciate it.
Now, lately we've been talking about the booming cannabis industry. You're very bullish on this. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, the cannabis sector is going great right now. We're extremely bullish on it, both in the public and also in the private sector as well, too. And we're actually very proud that actually here at UCS Advisors, we're actually doing a small raise ourselves where we're actually offering a 30% return on investment in 15 months or less. That's right, a 30% return on investment in 15 months or less. And what makes us excited about this is that we've made a lot of investors money and a lot of clients money over the years, but the deals are constantly changing in both the public and also in the private sector. So now, you know what, we have our investors that are just sitting and saying, you know what, we're betting on you, Dr. Dave. We're betting on UCS Advisors. You guys know what's happening. So sit here, take the money, and you know what, we're happy with, again, this 30% ROI in less than 15 months because you guys know the market and you guys are the leaders in this industry.
Well, speaking of that, because you are a well-known authority in the cannabis sector, tell us about your background.
Sure. So by trade, I'm actually a doctor of physical therapy, and I actually was in the medical side industry for quite some time. And then I actually was a CEO, former CEO of a publicly traded cannabis company, and we were one of the first 1,500 publicly traded cannabis companies in America. And from there, I've actually started 7 different cannabis companies in 5 different states, and pretty much out of need and demand, and have worked with numerous investors, both accredited and non-accredited investors. You know, there was really a need and demand to show people what avenues on how they can make money in this cannabis and hemp sector.
Well, we've seen a lot of cannabis companies, cannabis public companies come and go. I imagine with the way things are going, there's a lot of consolidation that's taking place.
There is a lot of consolidation that is occurring. You know, the other thing is too that you brought up. You talk about how the small cap companies in cannabis have really been booming, and that's really because those companies really have a strong investor relations team in place. And you know, you're seeing these companies that are getting acquired in the cannabis sector, and then also rolling up into these cannabis form SPACs as well too. So the industry is moving very quickly, which is why it really pays to have a really good IR team to really show you where the industry is heading and going.
Well, that's something you also do as well, don't you?
It is. We work with both public and private companies. We work with companies in the cannabis sector, but also in the non-cannabis sector. And what's really interesting, Don, is how we've had several companies that were not involved in the cannabis sector at all, but now they have a cannabis vertical within their company, because their products or their services is an ancillary service that can benefit both the cannabis and hemp community.
What's kind of interesting is a lot of analysts that we're talking to are saying that 2021 is going to be a boom year for small caps. Do you agree?
110%. It really is going to be a boom year. You know, when we were on the show back in the fall, we were telling people to really watch out for the cannabis stocks because regardless of the election, you're going to see a boom. And that's what's happened. You know, you're also seeing these cannabis companies that were maybe hurting over the last couple of years. You know what? Now they're trimming the fat. Now they're really getting their operating procedures up to date and also in a much more efficient manner. Right now, during this time, 2021 is an amazing, amazing time to go out and to really start to look at these small cap companies. And it might be something you might want to put some money into, because this is our modern day gold rush, or this is our modern day tech boom. We're not going to see another new sector like this explode probably for many years to come.
Well, with the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones Industrial Average all operating at or near record levels, you have to think that the opportunity for growth does exist in the small cap sector.
It really does. And what's interesting is when you look at the companies that are growing very aggressively in the small cap sector, a lot of it's because they have a really good investor relations team behind them. And, you know, what they're doing is these investor relation teams for these small cap companies that are really growing exponentially is they're communicating with the public. They're communicating with their shareholders, telling them what's going on with their company, both the good and the bad. And they're being transparent. And when you're being transparent and telling your shareholders, telling your investors what's going on, people are going to sit here and they're going to follow you for both the ups and the downs. And when you look at the small cap sector right now, it's a lot more ups than there is downs.
Well, you're basically telling small cap operators to operate like big cap operators when it comes to investor relations, aren't you?
I really am. And it's something we tell all our clients here at UCS Advisors and Investor Relations is rule number one: failure to plan is planning to fail. And a publicly traded company is like a living, breathing organism. You know, it's like your baby. You want to show it off to the public. Let the public know what's going on with your company. Plan ahead. You know, always be thinking at least 3 or 4 months ahead of time. And those small cap companies that do and put the time and energy into a proper investor relations team, they're the ones that are making those exponential gains right now.
Now, David, going back to your offering the 30% return of investment in 15 months, if people want more information, how can they get in touch with you?
The best way to get in touch is they can just email us directly, david@ucsadvisor.com. And that'd be the best way for them to get more information about our offering.
Once again, Dr. David Cunic, he's the CEO of UCS Advisors. UCSadvisor.com is their website. David, always a pleasure having you in the program. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Don.